Here's our up close as we get ready for the main event here tonight. And it's that Dave Coombs Sr. East-West Shootout. No big points up for grabs, just a lot of pride, some good prizes, and a lot of bragging rights. 22 riders for 15 laps. The progressive hole shot line is at the top of the ski jump, so they got a long way to go from here. Jeff, what would you say, about almost a quarter of a mile?
Yeah, it's right here on top of this jump. They're going to be coming through there wide open on the 250Fs.
Launching themselves into the Vegas nighttime sky. You ready?
I am ready, and I'm telling you, these riders, they may say it's all about the bragging rights here tonight in Las Vegas.
Big pile up in the first corner. Who's going to get the whole shot? Ryan Villopoto sails off into the sky, and he's got Dungey right on his tail.
And that's Reardon in second or third.
Villopoto from the east, Dungey coming out of the west.
We'll see how they sort themselves out. Where is our champions? Where is Jason Lawrence?
There's Kennard right there.
Kennard getting the better start of the two champions. He's running up in fourth place.
And there's Lawrence. Jason Lawrence is back behind him inside the top 10. But Villopoto shot out of a cannon.
That's Kennard. He just worked his way past his teammate Reardon up to third place. Kennard, the youngster, so much enthusiasm, just a very strong work ethic. Is not afraid to lay it on the line, has not been intimidated by any of the veterans.
He didn't all year, and Ryan Villopoto can tell you all about it.
Yeah. that was a tough finish to the season, and Trey Kennard, he was awesome. There's another rider that had a very tough season, but some outstanding rides. Ryan Dungey wants to be one of those riders to win the East-West Shootout 2 years in a row.
Dungey won the last round of the West Championship in Seattle just a week ago, but it was a little too late. The championship went to Jason Lawrence on the Yamaha.
And Dungey has raced on the opposite coast of Villopoto the past 2 years. So these riders really haven't seen too much of each other in light Supercross competition.
And both factories have put so much on them. Suzuki with Dungey and Kawasaki with Villopoto.
Yeah, well, you got to win a bunch of races. That's what happens. And manufacturers, that's what they want. That's why they're racing. Prove that their bikes are the best.
There you see Lawrence trying to work his way up in there. Jason
that's Kadiri. Made a huge mistake coming off of the off-camber. Sorry, Ralph.
No problem. Jason now up to 6 according to timing and scoring as he came across the line on that last lap.
See Lawrence coming through this rhythm section where there's a triple, another triple out. When I was walking the track earlier, I thought for sure that these riders are really going to be able to triple up through there all the way through, but it has humbled the lights riders. This track has humbled all of our lights riders. It's a very tough track with some really long jumps.
You saw Jason Lawrence nodding his head as he went past the mechanics area. Whatever was on the sideboard, he must have agreed with it.
I think he's having some fun. No doubt, Jason Lawrence, very colorful rider, not afraid to speak his mind. Backs it up with some amazing rides.
Well, boy, didn't he this year? I mean, Lawrence was telling everybody he was going to take it away from Dungey, and he did.
And he did, yeah. He really trash-talked Ryan Dungey and just got inside of Dungey's head, used it to his advantage, but he backed it up. He had the finishes.
3 main event wins. And Gerke behind him.
Oh, Lawrence misses the double off.
Well, here we
He
are.
misses the next one, too.
And
Gerke's on the left side.
Yeah, it could really cost him. That's Gerke up the inside on the 41. Gerke on the KTM, getting just in front of him. But for how long?
Well, Gerke has been on the gas here tonight. Really riding aggressive. Taking him part of the season here to really get back in the groove.
Working their way through Monster Alley. Quick peek over the shoulder, Lawrence.
Just checking to see where the competition is, to see how much cushion he has with the other riders. Can be a little more creative with his lines. Enter the turns very wide here. You can see, draws a nice line, going to try to triple out.
Some 35 yards. They marked it off like a football field as they come off that ski jump. And Lawrence just sailed about 35 yards off the top of that ski jump.
Lawrence, to me, seems like he's out there riding, having a pretty fun time riding right now, whipping it over both the triples. Almost doesn't seem like he's too focused on racing towards the front.
No, because look at Canary and Izzy all closing in on him. Nico Izzy on the 341. And they're right up on the backside of Lawrence. Well, he's got the #1 plate.
Well, that's the real goal of your season, is to go get that. And I'm telling you, you win that championship, it's party time.
There's Izzy on that Suzuki. And Suzuki's got to be real pleased with their young up-and-comers right now between Dungey and Nico Izzy. They seem to be pretty solid.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They're putting in a good effort. Canary was one of those riders that we almost thought was kind of down and out, that he was going to take the slide back the other way after he climbed into the pro ranks. But this season, his starts have been awesome. It's really given him that feeling of belonging and running with the lead group. He's had some great rides. And
the third in San Diego will help do that for you.
Oh, the podium. Remember how pumped he was in San Diego to be up there on the podium? Just had this great smile. That was very satisfying for him.
You see Lawrence now behind him. Izzy. And that'll move it back to 8th.
You know, in this race, as we're taking a look at Lawrence here on the 1E, the 1W, I'm sorry, on the blue bike that just went by, newly crowned champion. Since 1995, only 4 times has a newly crowned AMA Lights champion even won this race here.
Jeff, watch this. Speaking of tough nights.
Taking a tough ride here. Both riders getting squirrely. That's Lemoyne laying it down.
52, Matt Lemoyne. And meanwhile, up front, the man who thought he would be crowned East Coast champion as the season began, and who didn't? Brian Villopoto. Looks like he's on his way to a very solid finish here in the shootout. He's already over 3 seconds in front of Dungey.
Dungey's hanging right in there. Man, I'm telling you, both of these riders, they were the runner-ups this year. And this is definitely the runner-up race. You know, you want to go back out.
There's Dungey. Jeff, this is quite possibly one of the last times we will see Ryan Villopoto on a Supercross Lights bike. He's making his way up to the big bikes.
Well, and he very well should. He is fit, he's confident, he's a smart racer, and he's had some awesome training rides in this light class, if you will, to move up.
Here's third place man, the reigning champ from the East Coast Division. That's why he's got the red #1 with the E next to it. That is Oklahoma's Trey Kennard. What a great young man he is. Very nice kid.
We expected Trey to have some good rides this year. And then he came out and led every lap but one in the first 3 races. Won all of his heat races. It all stemmed from his great starts. And I say it all the time, Ralph, because I truly believe it, that when you get those good starts, you run up front, it gives you that feeling of belonging. Right away, Kennard felt like he belonged in the lead.
Aaron, Dan Reardon's having a pretty darn good run here tonight. He's sitting in 4th.
He's having a great race for sure, Ralph, but the season hasn't gone quite as planned for him. He's gone through quite a few injuries, including a shoulder injury that he suffered in Phoenix. But the biggest problem that he's been suffering as of late is tendonitis of the finger, and it's of his index finger. So you can only imagine on such a tough and technical track such as this one, it's extremely hard for him to hold on. He has been preparing himself for the outdoor season, so this race for him tonight is sort of icing on the cake.
Just days away, the outdoor season begins. Villopoto out front here in the East-West Shootout, the main event.
Well, we kind of had a feeling this could happen. After the season that he's had, all the momentum that he drew on, started the season in the East with the DNF, and then got some seconds. Then he started winning, crushing defeat in that final round, and this is going to take away a little bit of pain from that final race, I tell you. It's not going to heal the wound.
No, and I asked Ryan that very question, Jeff, earlier today at Rider Walk Around. I said, is this your championship since the other one slipped away from you? And he said, you know, not really. He goes, I'm really thinking more about moving on now to the outdoors and trying to win that championship, which he did last year. But he said, you know what? Certainly if I get out front and I'm here to win, trust me, I certainly want to grab it if I can.
Yeah, well, this is the Ryan Villopoto that we saw last year. That was so dominant. He started out very quiet about his wrist injury.
Yeah.
And as it moved on, as the series went on, we realized that that wrist was injured a little more than what we thought, a little more than what he let on. Here's
a look at Dungey and Villopoto on the last laps, Jeff. They're matching each other's pace, and a lot of people in and out of the paddock area will tell you these two guys might be matching lap times in Supercross main events in the next year or two.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Two great young riders in our sport, and you know what here? I was almost ready to give Villopoto the checkered flag, but number 28 is flying right
Sneaking
now.
in, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's only 2.5 seconds behind with 6 to go. I mean, he's certainly not falling too far behind. Here's our progressive whole shot replay.
You see these riders, this is outside of the stadium. East-West Shootout, the best glice riders in the world just gobbled up. And who is it that comes down across the ski jump? Progressive whole shot to Ryan Villopoto. Focus, man, that's what you do. He's dialed in right now. When a rider gets the whole shot like him, no mistakes. He's just so dialed in.
And you know, Jeff, it's kind of interesting. You talked about the wrist injury with Ryan. He held a press conference in Anaheim, and look at Dungey closing. He held a press conference in Anaheim that we were all at, and he said, look, I am 100% healthy. I'm ready to go by the time we get to Atlanta. So there was none of us knew anything about him being injured.
Yeah, and that's the rider's way of convincing himself that he's okay. You know, I don't think there was any intent to mislead anything, but as the series got on, he's like, you know, I'm not as healthy as what I used to be.
No, but that didn't come out right away, too. Even when he had the first couple of stumbles that we thought, wow, this is very un-Villopoto-ish, he still didn't say, hey, it's my wrist. And then all of a sudden, after the third one, he did.
Yeah, and we saw it in his riding where it just wasn't as confident, wasn't as smooth. But I tell you right now, 28's reeling him in. Last lap, he was a half a second faster than Dungey was than Villopoto. This race isn't over with 4.5 laps to go.
Let's touch base with Aaron.
Well, guys, an update on two of the riders that aren't here racing the main event this evening. The number 273 of Gavin Bracek. Times continue to get tougher for him. If you remember the difficult season that he's had all season long, well, tonight no different. In his LCQ, he caught his foot on a tough block. He twisted his knee. Said it was in a lot of pain, so he made his way over to the Asterix Medic unit to get it evaluated. Obviously, that's in a lot of pain, but Josh Grant, the number 20 as well, he is not riding this evening after a crash this afternoon in practice. He gave himself a concussion. He was out for about 45 seconds. He as well took a trip to the Asterix Medic unit to get checked out. We'll be seeing more of him at the Outdoor Nationals.
Well, thanks, Aaron. And to follow up with that Josh Grant injury, that was in the second practice is what Aaron's talking about. Josh actually went down very first lap of the very first practice.
Yeah.
And really tore himself up. His left calf, his right forearm, remember we seen him, was just bloodied and cut up. So tough night for Josh Grant, and he definitely was one of the favorites coming into an event like this, so we wish him the best.
Hey, Dungey is on Villopoto. Dungey is on it. We've got a race.
Oh, and Villopoto goes wide.
Here
Dungey's
comes
to the
Dungey.
inside.
He's right there in a laughter in front of him.
Neither one of the riders can triple. That's Will Hahn in the way.
Boy, Dungey is coming with furious. Look at this. The yellow bike is Ryan Dungey. The green bike is Ryan Villopoto.
Oh, and Villopoto's all over the place.
He's pushing hard, and Dungey's closed right up on him with 3.5 to go.
Time for Villopoto to straighten it out, to get focused. This is why these riders train so hard. Randy Lawrence, Villopoto's trainer, Johnny O'Mara, Ryan Dungey's trainer. Some serious hard work goes into being fit for these final laps.
And both of these riders came up short in their quest for a championship this year, Jeff. What a great way for them to carry a little bit of momentum out of the Supercross season if they can win this shootout.
Well, and both of these riders had heartbreaking defeats in the championship. So this is the one where they're laying it all on the line here.
And
Dungey's in the way.
Dungey won his final race, but did not win the championship. Villopoto, on the other hand, got wrapped around the finish line jump, if you remember, when he got together with Kennard.
Let's see.
2.5 laps ago.
Dungey went back a little bit here. Now we start to get into some lap riders. It's a tough track if you get out of the racing line. Ryan Dungey he has been known to let it all hang out, lay it on the line. Watch Villopoto here. He cases that triple. Look at the line that he draws. Just an S going into the triple. Just barely makes it. Now when Dungey sees that, that's fuel for the fire. He knows it's time to strike. He's close.
1.5 laps ago. Both these riders won 3 races in their respective divisions
little
this year.
mistake again by Villopoto. Loses his balance.
Here comes Dungey. Oh, Stewart stops and just lets him by.
Stewart's running way back.
Yeah, he's 11. He's having a bad main. Surprised to see that.
Let's see how crazy Ryan Dungey's going to get. Both these riders laying it all on the line. $5,000 and a brand new Toyota Tundra to the winner.
What could be the beginning of a monster matchup that we'll see for years to come? Ryan Villopoto and Ryan Dungey battling for huge wins.
Dungey's close. Look, he reeled him right in there. Couple lappers in the way. That's Izzy.
And you can really see him fighting for traffic, too. That means if they're lapping Izzy, they're up to 9th.
Look at Dungey with the momentum through the whoops.
Good run. Here they come. A lot of traffic in front of them. Who's going to get out of the way? Who's going to get hung up? Hepler right in front of them.
Whoa, good move from Dungey.
Big problem for Villopoto. And right alongside comes Dungey. And he cuts inside and takes it.
Dungey's got it.
He's got him. He pushed him wide. Ryan Dungey as the crowd goes crazy here.
Final lap in Las Vegas. Dave Coombs Sr. East-West Shootout. This is exactly what this race was designed for.
This is going to be devastating to Villopoto if he doesn't win this, Jeff. He's had this thing locked up since the beginning. This was not his championship, he said that, but it's just going to be one more defeat of this year if he can't hang on and get back around him.
And listen to the crowd as the two riders come into the stadium, East versus West.
Who's going to get it? Ryan Dungey came up short on the West Coast Championship. But could he win one of the most prestigious races of the year? A quick peek over the shoulder, over the triple. And he didn't triple, did Villopoto?
Villopoto misses the triple. That's given Dungey a little bit of breathing room. One turn to go, no mistakes.
Two-time winner for Ryan Dungey. He can hang on for one more corner. He won it last year. He's going to go back-to-back in the Dave Coombs East-West Shootout. It goes to Ryan Dungey, and Villopoto finishes a very frustrating second. Ryan Dungey pulled off a spectacular win over Ryan Villopoto. Look at that, Jeff. They lapped all the way up to 8th. Trey Kennard, the East Coast champ, finished 3rd. West Coast champion Jason Lawrence ended up out of it 22nd.
The leaders were flying, though. Yeah. What amazing effort.
It was difficult. I mean, Vegas is normally one of the toughest tracks to ride. It gets hard and slippery and blue groove, and but I'm surprised it held up. It held up really good tonight, and just can't thank my sponsor enough, Monster Pro Circuit, Kawasaki, and Jeff Fox of Parts Limit, Toyota Escondido. Thanks, guys. I definitely would have liked to win tonight, but you know, it just wasn't there. Ryan was riding really good and made some mistakes, and he was able to capitalize on that.
It was definitely a great race. You know, Ryan rode an awesome. Dude, I was just pumped. You know, I was patient, and dude, it was just that last lap. That little lapper got in the way, and that's when I made my move. So, dude, I'm just pumped out the win and going into outdoors. But I can't give it up more than my team, Makita, Rockstar Makita Suzuki, Garnet, Answer, Oakley, Target. Dude, my mom, dad, Bridgestone, RG3, and God, I mean everybody. I'm pumped, man.